All right, the nation of Armenia. This is where the apostles Thaddeus and Bartholomew actually first took the gospel. It literally became the first country to officially embrace Christianity in AD 301. But now, Christians in the enclave of Artsakh are surrounded by the Muslim nation Azerbaijan. And that nation has imposed a military blockade on the road that supplies food and access literally to the outside world. So medical supplies have become an issue. Food has become an issue. It's become quite an ordeal. And I don't know of anyone who knows more about this than my next guest. Joining me now to discuss this dire situation is the former U.S. Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom, Sam Brownback. Ambassador Brownback, welcome back to Washington Watch. Always great to see you, sir.
Hey, it's a pleasure to join you, and thank you for covering this topic. This is one that just a lot of people don't know about, but is really a difficult and becoming a dire situation.
Well, give us some of the background. Let's go into this because you're right. Most people are not aware of what's happening there. So just kind of give us the 30,000-foot view of what's some of the background and what's actually happening.
Well, what's actually happening is you've got this kind of replay that we've seen throughout the Middle East of an ancient Christian population being strangled and run out by a radical Muslim country and individuals. We've seen it throughout much of the Middle East, and now it's happening in this enclave of Artsakh. Others call it Nagorno-Karabakh. That's a group of Armenian Christians. It's about 120,000 that are located there that are surrounded by Azerbaijan. They shouldn't be, but this was the divvying up of the land under Joseph Stalin. They often pitted various ethnic and religious groups against each other. And now you're seeing it just continue and being played out today as the road going in, the Lachen corridor, is being shut off by Azerbaijan. And you got these 120,000 Christians being strangled and starved to death. And winter's going to be approaching. And it's something we really need to stand up. And the thing about it is, too, the United States has some leverage here to be able to change this situation on the ground.
All right, so let's talk about that. What is the leverage? What is the possible involvement that the U.S. has here?
We sell weaponry to Azerbaijan, as does Israel. And we've got a section called 907 sanctions. That's a number in bad parlance in Washington, D.C. You refer to so many things by number, nobody knows what the number means. But that number actually means that we sanction Azerbaijan, and you cannot send weaponry there unless the president waives those sanctions. So right now, by a pen, Joe Biden can stop the weaponry going in, and he can tell the Azeris, unless you open up this corridor, we will send no more U.S. weaponry into Azerbaijan. That's significant leverage.
It is significant leverage. What is the potential of that leverage being utilized?
It's significant if we push on the president. If people will push on their congressman, if there's a substantial Armenian community in the United States, because so many of them have gotten driven out by prior genocides. There was one there 100 years ago during the fall of the Ottoman Empire. If we will just push and say, Mr. President, no more weaponry to Azerbaijan. And we also should press our allies in Israel, no more weaponry. And then I think also on top of this, we ought to press on Turkey. They're the ones really behind this. Erdogan wants this pan-Turkish, this old Ottoman Empire reconfigured, reconstituted. He wants to take this land. And I think we ought to be telling Erdogan no, and in no uncertain terms, no. And we will use sanctions against you if you keep pressing this.
Well, all of this obviously requires leadership, Mr. Ambassador. I know you know this. And sometimes leadership only rises to the occasion when there's pressure placed on them. And that's where we, the people, have a significant amount of leverage ourselves, as you were just describing with our representatives and so forth. You said that winter is approaching, and so, I mean, it seems to me by that statement that it's a rather urgent time. I mean, now is the time to act. Is that correct?
It is, before it gets worse. I mean, they're already strangling them. A lot of medical supplies are in very short order. A lot of foods are in very short order. And then you start shutting off the natural gas, heating oil going into the region. This is just going to become unlivable. And that's exactly what the Azeris want. They want the Armenians to just walk out and leave, like what has happened in so much of the Middle East, and they'll end up immigrating to the United States or to Europe because they're asylum seekers, and there is a reason for this. But at the end of the day, you've forced out yet another historic population, and we really should use the leverage we have here and no more weaponry. And why would we allow our weapons to be used against an ancient Christian population in the Middle East that's being forced out, so they have to come to the United States? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous, and that's a question I have. Why are we doing that? Unfortunately, our time is running out, but that is a question that demands an answer. Why is this taking place? Thank you, Ambassador Sam Brownback. You are a great leader and a great man standing for truth and biblical principles. Thank you for joining us this evening on Washington Watch.
My honor. Take care. God bless you all.